Imagine a quiet afternoon in Los Angeles, when the media suddenly broke the news that shook Hollywood. Dakota Johnson and Chris Martin had quietly gone their separate ways after many years together. No press release, no goodbyes on social media, just silence, a silence heavy enough to make millions of hearts ache. According to a close source, the breakup was not due to a lack of love, but because of a conflict between two worlds. Dakota craved freedom, exploration, and a stronger foothold in acting, while Chris Martin wanted stability, gentleness, and peace. The two paths quietly diverged in two directions. What shocked fans even more. When Dakota appeared in recent events, her eyes were no longer sad, but sparkling with something new. And that's when the shadow of an old lover, the one who accompanied her through the burning roles, the long, exhausting filming days, appeared. That person was none other than Jamie Dornan. They didn't need to hold hands. They didn't need to speak. Just one look on the red carpet was enough to make the whole world stir. They're still connected. They've never really been apart. Rumors began to spread. Has Dakota found the feelings from the past? Or are these just two souls who missed each other, accidentally crossing paths again? Hollywood hasn't responded yet. Both remain silent. But fans can't stay silent. The Hollywood buzz had barely subsided when a surprising image emerged. Dakota Johnson leaving a small cafe in Malibu, wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses. What caught the media's attention wasn't Dakota, it was the gray hoodie she was wearing. The shirt was identical to the one Jamie had worn in a recent interview. Coincidence? Coincidence? Or a sign of something more familiar? The next day, an entertainment news account posted, "Inside sources confirm Dakota and Jamie have been seeing each other for the past several weeks, but it's all been done in private." The post immediately went viral. Many fans cheered, believing in a missed love returning. But others were worried, especially those who still love Chris Martin. Heartbreak Chris Martin. The one who left or the one who was left behind? A reporter asked Chris backstage after the show, "Are you and Dakota okay?" Chris just smiled sadly, his eyes lost. "I just hope she's happy. Wherever that happiness is, or with whom." The words were gentle but sounded like the sigh of a love that had been let go. No blame. No clinging. Just someone who loved a lot, and learned to let go for the person they loved. That moment made the audience not only feel sorry for Chris, but also confused about Dakota. The biggest question right now: what does Dakota Johnson want? Is it possible that? Is she looking for a forgotten memory? Or is she just running away from the emptiness after the breakup? Or, the feelings between her and Jamie never really ended? No one knows. But people saw Jamie, who had always stood behind Dakota throughout his career changes, still silently watching. No noise. No explanation. Just a presence warm enough to stir the heart of the person who once loved him. The unwanted but all-waiting encounter. That night, the Santa Monica beach was nearly empty. The wind was light, the waves were rustling, but the air was heavy as lead. Dakota walked slowly on the sand, her gray hoodie pulled close to her body. She had been warned, Jamie would come. And he did. No noise. No greeting. He stood a few meters away, watching her silently. That look. The look that had once belonged to her, now so strange it was heartbreaking. Dakota swallowed her ragged breath. "You shouldn't be here." Jamie smiled, but the smile broke on her lips. "I called you." She paused, her hand unconsciously tightened on her sleeve. "I just want to be clear." Jamie took a step closer, his voice hoarse, as if holding both fire and storm in his chest. Clearly what? That you tried to forget me? Or that you never did? Dakota closed her eyes. The tears didn't fall, but they were there. I don't want anyone to get hurt anymore, Jamie. Everything was so complicated. Jamie looked at her, his eyes no longer angry, only hurt. I know, but you left without ever answering my question. Dakota raised her head, her eyes glistening with seawater or tears. No one knew. What question? Jamie took a deep breath. In that moment, the waves seemed to stop. Did you ever love me? Dakota broke down. Not because the question was difficult, but because the answer had never changed. She was just too afraid to say it. Her voice trembled. Yes, and that's what scares me the most. They stood there, not embracing, not kissing, not acting. Just two people who loved each other too much, and no one knew if that past could ever come back again. When the sea cannot hide a secret. Dakota and Jamie stood there, in the sound of the waves and the darkness. It felt like the moment was theirs alone, a memory no one knew, no one touched. But Hollywood never sleeps. And secrets are never safe. In the distance, behind the rocks, a tiny click sounded. A paparazzi photographer, who had been following Dakota for weeks, caught them face to face. No hand-holding. No hug or kiss. Just a look of emotion. But the eyes spoke louder than any action. A few hours later, on Twitter and Instagram. Breaking news. Dakota Johnson Jamie Dornan spotted having an emotional late-night meetup in Santa Monica Beach. Is this the beginning of something, or the return of everything? Social media exploded. Fans are divided into two camps. Campus 1. They have loved each other for a long time, now it is just fate to come back together. Dakota x Jamie are forever the best. Campus 2. Chris Martin does not deserve to be dragged into the drama. Dakota is playing with fire. The media starts digging up old interviews, red carpet glances, intimate gestures while filming, behind-the-scenes moments that fans once overlooked. All are put together into a story called, Did They Never Stop Loving Each Other? Collision climax. Chris Martin is dragged into the eye of the storm. At Heathrow Airport, Chris has just landed after the tour. Paparazzi surround him. A reporter shouts, Chris, do you know Dakota met Jamie? Chris stops. No hiding. No dodging. Just a second. Enough for the world to see the pain in the eyes of someone she once loved. I know. And I hope she finds where her heart truly belongs. No blame. No anger. But that sentence was enough to make the whole world go silent. Dakota watched the clip. Right there on the bed, in the empty apartment. The phone fell from her hand. She put her head on her knees. And this time, she cried. Not because of Jamie. Not because of the scandal. But because it was time for her to choose. After the video of Chris' response to the reporter went viral, Dakota turned off her phone. No text messages. No response to her manager. No sign on social media. The next day, she disappeared. No one knew where she went. No news agency could find her. Only a single email to her manager. I need some time to breathe. Don't look for me. And so Hollywood, for the first time in years, was empty of Dakota Johnson. No events. No film sets. No scandal after scandal. Just a long, mysterious silence. Wilted flower. Chris Martin got the news first. The manager called Chris, because he was the only one who could understand Dakota. Chris closed his eyes after hearing it. If she needs peace, let her be. But he was the one who hurt the most. Because the person who lets go is usually always sober. But the one left behind is always the one left unfinished. Fog Jamie Dornan is different. When he heard that Dakota had disappeared, Jamie completely lost his composure. He had lost her once. He couldn't bear to lose her a second time, and this time, completely unaware of her whereabouts. A friend asked him, "Why haven't you forgotten her yet?" Jamie simply replied, "Because she's a part of you that you can never get back." That statement, when revealed later, became a shocking media quote. Cloud with rain in the silence. Where is Dakota? A blurry image circulated. A woman wearing a hat, sitting alone on the beach in Lisbon, Portugal. No one was sure it was her. But the thin shoulders, the hunched posture. The resemblance was heartbreaking. A local resident recounted. She sat staring at the sea for a long time, as if trying to remember how to breathe. Not to run away. Not to choose. She was just tired. Very tired. And the two men behind her were also exhausted.